Can't touch this.
Hi Kane.
Hi Kim.
So today we're looking at your comic collection.
We are. What comic collection is that, Kim?
MC2.
What does MC2 stand for?
Marvel Comic 2.
Yeah. So Marvel Comics 2. Marvel Comics 2 is the next generation of Marvel superheroes. So you have basically the children of the current generation of superheroes.
What you start collecting comics? And these ones in particular?
Well, it was quite a good jumping off point because the normal comic universe has like 30, 40, 50 years worth of backstory at the time, and it was just impossible to, or more difficult to get into, so I thought I would start on something new. There's no history here, it's just a new universe begins.
What was the first comic that you bought from this series?
Oh, I bought a big bulk load, actually. Well, initially I bought a couple of the trade paperbacks from the internet, so they contain like 5 or so issues, and I ended up getting the first 5 issues of Amazing Spider-Girl and the issues 6 to 10 of Spider-Girl and their different series, and one of them came in a nice big book like this, the other one came in like a little digest book like this, and they're completely different series. So it's actually quite hard to get into just comics in general because you don't know these kind of things until they come through your door and you're like, why is this not following on?
Do you have a favourite comic?
Because it was so difficult to get. This is What If 105, and this is the first appearance of Spider-Girl. So Spider-Girl is Peter Parker's daughter, and I think she starts off as 15 in the series. And it's just a side story. It's just a what if story that got such praise. In the same way, I suppose, that Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man's first appearance, did as well. So this is the jumping off point. This was really hard to get, but I got it for a really good price. And so it's probably my favourite. It's quite a cop-out really, but yeah, it's my favourite.
Where did you get it from? eBay?
eBay. Where else?
Do you have a least favourite?
Probably Wild Thing. Do you know who Wild Thing is?
She's the daughter of Wolverine.
This is Wild Thing. It's just a girl Wolverine, basically, but with no charisma, and instead of adamantium claws, she has these like mind claws. Like she can conjure up any kind of shape, I think, but she decides to go with the tried and true.
Made up claws.
Made up claws.
Like Santa Claus.
Like Santa Claus.
Is she your least favourite character?
Least favourite character, least favourite series. I don't really like J2 either. J2 is the Juggernaut's son, and he sucks.
Do you have, other than Spider-Girl, obviously, followed by Spider-Man, I guess, do you have a third favourite character?
I like Green Goblin, who is Normie Osborn in this series, which is Norman Osborn's grandson.
Why do you like him?
He has a real character arc. He starts with all these tattoos on him, and he's got like a huge vendetta against the Parker family, and all he cares about is destroying the Spider-Man clan. And then he gets to know May Parker, changes his ways, and then he gets the symbiote. Do you know what a symbiote is?
It sounds familiar.
Venom is a symbiote, and so is Carnage.
Oh, I knew it.
So he gets the symbiote to clean all his tattoos off him. He could start that as a business, couldn't he?
Well, yeah. I think, yeah, you can do that in real life.
Symbiote laser removal. But that's the thing with this. In Spider-Man, the enemies tend to just be come back, go away, come back, go away. He forgives them every time, like, I've beaten you, I can't kill you, you're off to jail. They break out of jail or they got away and they just come back and do the same thing. But with Spider-Girl, they fight and she tries to actually get them to change their ways and amend the way of thinking. That's quite a progressive thing that the series does. You also get other characters, like he died in the series actually. They did a series of comics called Nuff Said, which is a play on Stan Lee's famous phrase. He says Nuff Said. And it was basically issues with no dialogue in. And this is the death of Crazy 8. I can find it. Maybe that's my favourite comic. I mean, I've got my most prized possession, which is Amazing Spider-Girl. No, it isn't. I've got my prized possession, which is What If 105, the first appearance. But this one might be my favourite comic. So this is, enough said, the issue. So Crazy 8 is tragically killed, and this is everyone's reaction to it without any dialogue, and it really works well with the comic medium. I also like, not comic medium as in he speaks to the dead. I also like...
Which would be handy though, because a lot of people die in comics, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but they come back to life, don't they? Don't need the medium. Maybe it's issue 50, 51.
Do you like it when people come back to life in comics?
I don't like it when they die needlessly, which happens quite often. Like they melt, or they're brutally killed and it turns out it was never them, or someone from the dead magically resurrects them. Like Aunt May was brought back as an actress. It was really the actress that died in issue 400. Not in these comics, she stayed dead. And then she died again, and then Peter Parker sold his marriage to resurrect her, to Mephisto, which is Marvel's version of the devil. I also like this issue. Tom DeFalco wrote all of the issues, and I think this is the only Spider-Girl issue that he didn't write. This is by Sean McKeever, who also wrote Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane, and it's quite a tender little story from an onlooker. I have a few signed issues that I can show off. So I have Spider-Girl 0. It's signed by Ron Frenz, who's the original artist of Spider-Girl. There you go. I also have Avengers Next, issue 1, and that's signed by a couple of people. Ron Frenz again, and Brett Breeding.
What's the signatures?
Signatures are just at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And there's the authenticated certificate. Who cares? The Buzz was like the next generation Iron Man, and he kind of is, but they've also got Mainframe as well.
Is your collection a complete collection?
This is a complete collection. No, it's not.
What are you missing?
I'm missing Amazing Spider-Man Family 1 to 4, which is has a side story, Mr. and Mrs. Spider-Man, which is a precursor to Spider-Girl. But that was written out from issue 5 and replaced with the ongoing Spider-Girl series. I should get them really. And I'm also missing Amazing Spider-Girl 0, which was more of just like a recap bio comic. It hasn't got any story in it. It's just a recap. But it's not complete.
So why did you call it complete?
To get viewers.
Is it complete in your eyes?
In my eyes, it's complete.
Would you sell your collection?
No.
Why?
Why are you trying to get me to sell them, Kim?
Create some space, make some money.
I don't know if it has the mass appeal that I think it deserves, but in my heart it means a lot, and I'd never get rid of them. Even though I haven't read them for 5 years, and Spider-Girl just stares at me through that little slit every time I look into my cupboard, I just couldn't sell them.
Do you think you'll read them all again?
If there's interest, and people want to know what happens in the stories, having watched this, I definitely would.
So not for fun, but maybe for viewers.
Yeah.
What do you think you might do for your next video?
I'd like to review them. I'd review them in maybe storyline chunks. That's the thing with these. You can review them individually. Each issue tells a single story as well as an ongoing plot. So you might have a 6-part story, but you can read them one by one and get them. There's no decompression like there is in Marvel Comics nowadays. These are much like the original Stan Lee stories from the 60s. Every story you feel like you're getting your money's worth. And I think it'd be nice to educate people about how good these comics were and still are.
Well, thanks for that, King.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for viewing. Like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you my complete collection. I'll do I've got some sort of video for you.